Hey, hi, welcome guys. Welcome back to our channel, which is Fibron. Okay, so let's discuss. So list is the tuple is exactly same as the list, except that it is immutable. Immutable in the sense of once we create the tuple object, then we cannot change the object. Once we create the tuple object, then we cannot change the tuple object. Okay, change the object. Got it. So this is the one difference I can say in case of tuple and list. There is so many things too. If our data is fixed, then never change and never change, then we should go for the tuple. Means in which case we should go with the tuple, means in the case where our data size is fixed, then only we should go with tuple. Make sense? Means in future if we don't have to add anything, then we should go with the tuple. Otherwise you should go with the list. Okay, here duplication is also allowed. In case of list we have duplication, means duplication allowed in case of list, but here also duplication will allowed. Okay, so this is also similarity, duplication allowed. Okay, fourth number, heterogeneous element we can store. Heterogeneous element we can store. Okay, okay, okay. So hope it understood what is tuple. Let me put over the chat. Okay, so if you have any question, then please feel free ask me. I guess everyone has gone through the assignment, and I got some of the response, like Sonia also submit her assignment, and Vivek also submit, and Sabrina. These three assignment I got uh, over my mail and over the chat. Okay, so please feel free to fill the assignment over this weekend. You have time. I'm not going to give any more task right now. Okay, so please do the assignment. It will helpful for you. Until unless if you are not doing the assignment, then no use at all. Okay, yeah. So in yesterday class note also I am going to provide here. So yep. Okay, cool. So let's differentiate the tuple. T is equal to, I'm going to define the tuple. Now how to define the tuple? How to define the tuple? Tuple always defined with the parenthesis. So let's suppose 10, comma 20, comma 30, comma 40. This is the tuple I define. Now, how do you know this is the tuple? So if you want to check the type, so you can use the type function, and inside of type function you can call the T. So it will return tuple. Error running the test 2. Why this error is coming? 1 minute, huh? Wait a moment. Yeah, I got. So this is the class. You can see what is the class is getting, tuple class. Correct. Now if you want to access the element, then what is the access? See, if you want to access the particular index element, as, and one more thing, insertion order will be preserved. In case of tuple, as like a list, here also insertion order will be preserved. Means in which order you are inserting the element, insertion order, in the same order you have to access the element, insertion order will be preserved. Okay, okay, got it. So insertion order will be preserved, means in which order we are going to insert the element, in the same order we are going to access the element. Suppose I want to take the element of 0th index. Let's see whether I am able to take the data or not. Yes, I can able to get the data, right? Means insertion order is going to be preserved, right? Got it. Okay. Now suppose you have something that you want to convert. If you have the accessing the element, suppose you want to, you have element, and afterwards if you have an element and you want to convert that element into in form of tuple, how will you convert the element in form of tuple? Suppose you have the list, and inside of list we have the data 8 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6 comma 7, and suppose once you have the list, and in future in case of list is what is the feature, in case of list we can add the heterogeneous element, we can access, means it's as in case of list also we are going to store the insertion order, so in which order we are inserting the element, in the same order we are going to fetch the element. So similar kind of thing in case of tuple also, in which order we are going to insert the element, in the same order we are going to access the element. But only difference is that in case of list we can append the element in the future, but in case of tuple we cannot. Tuple is not allowing us to add the element or append the element. Got it? Correct. So hope it makes sense. Now suppose in future you got, suppose right now you got a list and in future you want to convert it into the list. Okay, so before converting into the tuple, I would like to check the type. So what you can do, type of lst, type of list before, type of list before typecasting, before typecasting, this is nothing but typecasting, sir. Okay, before typecasting, and here I am going to add kind of thing type type. uh, 1 minute, huh? Why it is not coming? Yeah, type of lst. Okay, let's do this and we'll see. And I would like to check also after typecasting. Got it? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to typecast this. Hello, am I audible? Yes, if please do the comment over the chat. Okay, so otherwise how could I know? Tuple, and here if I am passing the lst, yeah, so cool. Then next is what, once your typecasting has done, and afterwards if you want to check what is this, if you want to check before and after typecast. Okay, so I am going to change the message like that, after typecasting type of list. Okay, so let's see what is that. Okay, what is this, what the error we are getting? Okay, no worries, no worries, we got some error. I'll tell you what is that error. Okay, I'll tell you in the later sense. Right now just ignore this. Can you see this? See, type of what type of list should be there. Okay, type of lst before typecasting and type of lst after typecasting. Are you is it making sense? Means once we did the typecasting and after that time I am checking the type, it is showing me tuple, and before typecasting it is showing the list. So once you did the typecasting, and afterwards if you are checking, if you want to insert the element inside of list, sorry, inside of lst, you cannot add because it converted into a tuple. Correct? Okay, hope it makes sense. Next is what, next what I'm going to do, I'm just copying this, and I'm going to paste it here over the chat. 1 minute. Okay, so this is the then, and next is what next what we are going to do, we are going to using the slicing operator. Okay, so similar kind of thing what we seen in case of string, in case of list, as it is a like of list only, so we can add the slicing operator also, we can use the slicing operator also by using 1 minute, by using the slicing operator, by using the slicing operator. Correct? So see, slicing operator in the sense of, see, suppose we have one tuple t is equal to here I am going to define something like a 10 comma 20 comma 30 comma 40 comma 50 comma 60, comma 70. If you have the good command over the list or string, then afterwards your life is getting very easy in case of Python. If you want to survive in Python, then maybe then my first class was first or second class or previous two class was very important here. Okay, if you have the good concept over there, you can solve any problem, at least you can think it out. Okay, if you have the, if you really want to make your career over the Python, then you should be attentive over that last two classes. Okay, so now similarly, suppose I want to I want to take a element from the first to third element. Okay, so how I can take, so first is always starting from the zero, so I should not mention any starting point. By default it will take a starting point. I am want to take a three element. Okay, so let me see whether we are getting or not. Can you see this 10, 20, 30? And let's suppose I don't want 10 means from the first, I want from the second until the end. So if I'm not defining the end point, so by default it will take a end point only. Okay, so got it. And let's suppose if I'm defining end point also, if I'm not defining the end point, and if I want from the second index to the end point and with the gap of 2, means after leaving the 1 1 element. Okay, so that is also possible. You can see the second index is what, 30, second index is 30, so I got 30 and I left 40 and I printed here 50, again 60 left, 70 got printed. So that is also possible, you can play around with that. And similarly, if you want to reverse that, then how we did in the previous, the same manner will work here also. So let's suppose you want to, you want to reverse it up, right? So you can use this, and why the -1, that is also you knows. Okay, less. Okay, cool. Okay, anyway, I'll put these things over the note. Okay, from now onwards, actually I got some suggestions with some of the students, so please provide all those things over the note, because chat sometime with the chat we cannot able to correlate all those things. Got it? And yes, if I'll make a note also, then it will be helpful for me for the other batches also, so I can provide the notes over there. Correct. So that's a very good suggestion whoever has given to me. Yep. So now T1, if you have another, if you also have a something suggestion, so I can make a better live classes, then please do comment and you can ping me personally. I really appreciate your suggestions. Okay, so let me clear 10, 20, comma 30 and T2 is equal to, and here I am going to define 40 comma 50 comma 60. And let's suppose I would like to concatenate, I would like to add these two tuple in the one tuple. So what we can do, t3 is equal to, sorry, t3 equal to t1 plus t2, t1 plus t2. And afterwards, if you are checking, if you are going to print t3, if you are going to print t3, let's see. Okay, oh shit, can you see this 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60? Correct. So we can apply the mathematical operation also. We can apply the mathematical operation also. Correct. So that is also possible. Yes, fine. So hope it is easy for you to correlapse. Okay, now so once you can apply the mathematical operation, you can apply the multiplication operation also, right? So what I am going to do, 1 minute. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to copy this list. I'm going to copy the list, control V, and once your list is copied, what I'm going to do, print T1. If I'm going to multiply with some scalar quantity, scalar quantity, yes, we had learned in case of when, if you learned, if you came from the 11 12 background, then you should know a scalar quantity, right? What happened here, see, can you see this 10 20 30, again 10 20 30, again 10, 20, 30. So it got repeated 3 times because I had multiplied with the 3. Okay, cool, right? So no doubt at all. Similar, in case of list also, we had seen the count function, right? We had seen the count function. Okay, so count function also we can apply here also, print and t1 dot count, t1 dot count, and if we are going to apply, how many elements should return? It will return of, okay, sorry, I made a mistake, 1 minute. If you can see the signature of this, yeah, it should ask, means I should pass some, you know, element count, in the sense of what it will return. uh, 1 minute, means it will return how many times the particular object has been appeared inside of tuple or list. Like this only it was working in the list also, means how many times the particular object has been repeated, that is known as the count function. So count function basically used to check how many times the particular object has repeated. If you want to check the how many elements is present inside of a tuple, then you can use the len function. Okay, so you can use the len function. Okay, the len function, inside of len function you can pass the t1, and yes, I can happily use this. Correct, I am getting this 3 because 3 elements are present, right? Okay, cool. Let's suppose you want to get the index. Okay, index function. So similarly, how it was working in the case of list, as you already knows, uh, list tuple is nothing but it's a kind of list only. So whatever method we had learned in the list, the same method will work inside of tuple also. Okay, so what is that? See, let's try to understand. Suppose I have this tuple 10, 20, 30, and you want to check the index. You want to check the index of 10, index. Okay, if I want to check the index of 10, so you can check the using the index method. So where it is present basically, can you see this 0 index? Suppose I am passing here 30. If I am passing here 30, can you see this 2, right? Because 30th index is coming at there. Okay, no worries, no worries. Now let's suppose index is understandable. Now similarly, we had seen the sorted method also, right? What is the sorted method is doing in case of list? Sorted method is doing the is arranging our element in the sorting order, Okay, let's see how it is doing the sorting order. Sorted index. Okay, so suppose I have the element 40, 30. 1 minute, let me make some changes here. 40 comma 10 comma 30 comma 20. Okay, so I made it up, and also, okay, 1 minute, let me show this. Sorted, here I am calling the sorted. Okay, sorted, and I am not passing any argument here. uh, t1 equal to sorted t1. Okay, and print t1. So after sorting, what we are getting, let's see. Can you see this? 10, 20, 30, 40 means it got sorted, means whatever it arranged the element in the form of ascending order. Okay, up to this, no worry at all. Let's suppose I am going to add some string here, because tuple and list will take a heterogeneous element, right? So what is going to be happen? Can you see this? Okay, line number 23. Can you see this? Means is saying not supported between the instance string and integer, means it cannot sort your number with the string. Got it? So if you can add the, if you want to add the element inside of tuple, happily you can add, but you cannot sort. Okay, I'm going to make a comment here. Most important question over the interview. Suppose I have a tuple and I want to make a sort. Because as tuple, you know very well, in case of tuple, we can store the element homogeneous, sorry, heterogeneous data also. So if I'll do the sorting operation over there, will it work? No, sir, it will not work at all. Okay, so when you apply the sorting operation, take care that we don't have the list, sorry, we don't have the string. Okay, string kind of data. Okay, cool, no worries. Okay, similarly, I thought I forget to tell, in case of list, there is a one more function is there, min max. Okay, so let's see how it is working in case of tuple, and it will work in case of list also. If I forget to tell you, then please try to apply over there. Okay, so let me copy this. Let me copy this and let me put over the comment. Okay, so suppose I have a tuple, and if I want to check the min max function, if I want to check the min max of, 1 minute, print minimum of t1, minimum of t1 and max of t1. Okay, so you can check the min max. Okay, min max t1, got it. Let's suppose, let me run this code. Actually there is just some issue. Yeah, you can see here also it is not possible, right? Because in case of string, how it will check it is minimum or maximum, but if you are going to remove it up, then it will work properly. Can you see this? Minimum is 10 and maximum is 40. Okay, yeah. And there is a one more function is there, compare function. Okay, min function comma max function, yes. Okay, okay, so next function is seventh, I guess sixth function it is, right? Sixth function is compare function, cmp function. Okay, so let's suppose, let's do this. We have a three tuple like a t1 is equal to 10 20 30, 10 comma 20 comma 30, and t2 is equal to, okay, let me see, all you guys are waking up, right? There is any doubt, please let me know. t2 is equal to, correct, okay, don't take it personally, it's a way of teaching, everyone having their unique way. This is my way. Okay, 40 50 comma 60. Okay, and t3 20 30 and 20 10 comma 20 comma 30. Okay, and let's suppose if I'm using the compare function, what is going to be happen? Try to see, these all concept, elementary concept is there. With this elementary concept we have to make our project. Okay, so that's what I'm going to show, all those function. And now at the end of the Python programming, we will take one project, and we both will, means you and me both will work on that project, and we'll complete our project. Got it? So here t1 comma t2, if I'm passing the t1 comma t2, so what the, okay, what is saying, uh, compare function is not there, right? 1 minute, huh? I guess cmp function is, 1 minute, huh guys? Okay, I guess in Python 3 we don't have the compare function. 1 minute, huh? Give me a moment. We can check over the Google also, because in Python 2 it was available, but in Python 3 I don't think so. They have removed CMP function, CMP function in Python. Okay, if you can see here, yes, CMP, why it is not coming, I don't know. It's a Python 3 only. Yeah, 1 minute, huh? Okay, let me run this. What the error we are getting? CMP is not defined. Okay, 1 minute, huh, guys? Please. If you will also face this kind of issue, then please do the Google. Okay, yes, Python 3 it is not available. So there is a separate package you have to import, I guess. Okay, so 1 minute. Yeah, yes, means basically in the Python 2 compare function was available, but in case of Python 3 we don't have the compare function. So what you can do, you know the function definition, how to create a function. So you can make your custom function, right? You can make a custom function. Okay, how to make a custom function? CMP, you create one function, your own function, and ask two object T1 comma T2. You can give any name. Okay, T1 comma T2, you can give any name. And now let's suppose if T1 T1 is greater than T2, if T1 is greater than T2, then what it should return? It should return return 1. It should return 1. Okay, elif T1 less than T2, then it will return, okay, return -1. Okay, and if both the object are same, then what it should return? 0. There we go. Understood? So we create our custom function. Initially in case of Python 2 it was a inbuilt function, but in case of Python 3 they removed this function. That's what I told you, everyone should install the Python 3. Okay, because from now onwards Python is not giving the support for Python 2. Got it? So yes, if you can see, okay, what it should return, can anyone please help me out? What it should return? It should return +1 or -1? It should return +1. Yes, it should return +1. Okay, +1 or -1? Okay, let's see what the output we are getting. Hello, still it is saying error. Can you see this -1? Why it is -1? Because T1 is less than T2. Okay, so this condition is fulfilling. Got it? So that's what it's returning -1. And let's suppose in case of T1 and T3. Okay, so what it should return? Where we go? T1 equal to sorry, T1 comma T3, T1 comma T3. So it should return 0, right? It should return 0. Okay, sorry, I forget to tell one thing. CMP, we should type the CMP, and yeah, okay. So have you understood? We don't have the compare function. Now I created the compare function. Like this only we have to do. Okay, so suppose if I'll not create the compare function here, so we have to write this 6 or 7 line of code everywhere. So once we create the function, we can use as many time, how many time you want. Correct? So this is the beauty of compare, means function. Okay, yeah, correct. Now let's do the something. Let's do something. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, suppose I have elementary function. Okay, let me do the comment over here, compare function. Okay, So what I'm doing, I am going to comment also, I'm going to put over the chat also. So this is something we did new. Compare function is not available in case of pandas. So sorry, Python 3. Oh, so many mismatches here. CMP function is not available in case of Python 3. Python 3. Okay, but it is available in Python 2. But it is available in Python 2. Okay, Python 2. If I have Python 2, then I'll show you in a while. Okay, let me add over these things. Okay, oh, no worries, I'll add over there. Okay, so once you compare function, now we are going to discuss about tuple packing and unpacking. What is this tuple packing and unpacking? Tuple packing and unpacking. See, these are the very elementary concept. It's as of now you people are thinking that it's a very easy, but yes, it's my way of teaching. I'm going to start very basic, from very basic, and I'll reach you till the end of the the concept. So yesterday in the last class also we had seen in the string concept, we showed you something like a interesting question at all, and so that you can make your perfection better. Got it? A is equal to 10, comma B equal to 20, comma C is equal to 30, comma D is equal to 40. D is equal to 40, right? And this is the elements are right. And if you want to pack the element, means packing, means if I'm going to add the element inside a tuple, what we can do, A comma B comma C comma D comma D, right? And afterwards, if I am going to print T, okay, and let's see what we are getting. Can you see this? I converted the means elementary function into elementary object into the tuple. Okay. Similarly, if you want to unpack, means if we have the tuple and you want to unpack, so how we can do this is something known as the packing concept. Packing concept. Okay, packing concept. And I'm going to discuss you about the unpacking concept. Okay, unpacking. So unpacking is what? Means we have tuple T and I want to convert into elementary function. So 1 minute. Okay. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create E comma F comma G comma H, and I'm going to differentiate into T. Okay, and now if you are going to, if you're willing to know about the ABCD, so what you can do, print A equal to A, you can pass here A. Okay, you can pass here A. Similarly, comma, what I'm going to do, where we go, I'm going to copy this, paste, and I'm going to change it up to A, sorry, not A, it should be E, right? It should be E, and here I am going to print E, and yes, here I have to pass the F, and here I have to pass the F, and here I have to pass the G, and here I have to pass the G. Sorry, yes, G, and here I have to pass the H. Here I have to pass the H. Okay, and here I have to pass the H, and this is unnecessary thing. Okay, let it to be removed. So yeah. Okay, can you see this? I can able to unpack also, right? Correct. Okay. Okay. Now question answer. Let's understand the question and answer. Okay. Okay, so yes, I guess I am done with the tuple concept. It is more sufficient if you can do the at least once of the practice. See, again I am saying no need to do any practice over here. Means just try once type your code. Means by the if you can give 10 to 15 minutes also, you can able to understand the tuple concept. Got it? Okay, so let me create for you guys. Okay, now very interesting concept I'm going to discuss. Let me 1 minute. Okay, word, 1 minute. I don't know where is the table also. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about the list and tuple. What is list and tuple? Okay, so don't worry, we will provide all those notes, guys. This complete notes for you. So that's what I'm typing in front of you only, because I am thinking we got some feedback with the students that please provide the complete notes. So yeah, you will at the end you will get over the dashboard this notebook, this complete note you will get. I would like to explore something here. 1 minute. How to access your dashboard? Please wait a minute. Just go to access the dashboard which we had created for you. You will get complete live class video also. So please log in with your mail id, registered mail id with which you registered with us. So live class is something, what is that? 1 minute, huh? Where is the link? Yes, this is the link. This is the, I guess this is the one link. Okay, yeah. So if you go to the video lectures, all lectures, so I'll provide this dashboard access to you. If you can go here, okay, I'm providing the dashboard access to you right now. Okay, this complete video you will get it out. So whoever downloading over the through the Skype, no guys, it's not a correct way. Just go and access from here. Okay, if you are able to download, then fine, I don't have any issue at all. Okay, so you can download it up. So all those videos lectures you will get it out here. Correct? You up to this whatever we taught you right away, so you will get complete video lecture here. Okay, next is what, if you can see, okay, this is the something. 1 minute. Yeah, if you can go Python, whatever I am teaching here, so complete notes you will get. Python history, Python feature, Python application, installation, syntax, all those things, basic syntax, Python identifier, whatever we taught so far, so forth, everything you will get. Break, continue, pass statement, all those things you will get it. So we did a lot of effort here so that it will make your task very easy. And still we are working over this. And yeah, if you have some suggestion over here, then please feel free, you can ask me. Okay, this is our means this is the complete our effort which make it live in within of this 15 or 20 days. Okay, I really appreciate to to whole teamwork here, like a Pyron teamwork who did this complete job in a very short interval of time. Correct? Okay, cool. I had given the access, I guess. So please hit that URL. Are you able to access or not? Please do let me know. That's all. Yeah. Okay, so list is what, it's a means what is that list? Means here insertion order is preserved. Insertion order will be preserved, here insertion order, here also insertion order will be preserved, right? Insertion order will be preserved. Next is what, next we means in case of list, means updation is allowed. Updation is allowed. Updation is not allowed. Okay, next. Third is means insertion in order is done. Next, updation is allowed, and heterogeneous element we can store. Heterogeneous element we can store here also, here also. So these are the you can say similarity or difference in case of list and tuple, right? Okay, cool. Next, we are going to differentiate about the set data structure. What is the set data structure? Okay, so set data structure is what? Control B. Okay, so let's discuss about the set data structure. So what is set data structure? Okay, let me ask, is there any doubt? So is there any doubt, guys? Till now we are going to move to teach you about the set data structure. Any doubt? No. Okay, no doubt. No worries. Let's discuss about the set data structure. Okay, so what is set data structure? If we want to represent a group of unique value as a single entity, then we should go with the set data structure. Means, let's suppose if we, okay, 1 minute, if we want to represent the of group of unique value, see, try to understand the word. Okay, be force on the word, whatever words is very important. If we want to represent a group of unique value as a single entity, then we should go with go with set. Okay, okay, one more thing is there, insertion or updation is allowed, and also duplication, updation and duplication, I can say updation comma duplication. Okay, duplication is allowed. Okay, similarly in case of here also updation and duplication is allowed. Right? Okay, cool. No doubt. Next is what? Set. We were talking about the set. Okay, you are talking about the set. So once your these things has done, so next, what is that? Duplication or not allowed? In case of set, we don't have, it will not allow the duplication. Duplication will not allowed in case of set. Correct. Third is what? Insertion order will not preserve. Insertion order will not preserved. Okay, insertion order will not preserved. Okay, insertion order will not preserve, but we can sort the element. But we can sort the element. Sorry. Sort the element. Correct. Means insertion order will not preserve, but we can sort in the sense of, you already knows. Okay, indexing and slicing is not allowed in case of set, sir. Indexing means, because here insertion order is not preserved, so obviously you cannot fetch the element with the help of index. So indexing and slicing is not allowed. Indexing and slicing will not allowed. Sorry. Okay, will not allowed, right? Next is, yeah, I guess this is pretty much okay. Okay, so now let's create a set. Let's creation of set. Let's discuss about the creating of set. Okay, no problem. Set data structure. Set data structure. Okay, so creation of set object. First we are discussing about the creation of set data structure. Creation of set data structure. And how we are going to create a set data structure? S is equal to set always be created by the curly braces. Okay, 10 comma 20 comma 30. Okay, so group of unique object, what is the definition is saying? If you can go with the definition of set, see, if you want to represent a group of unique value as a single entity, then we should go with the set. The unique object, here all objects are unique. What will happen if I'm going to pass 10 again? So it will be not unique, right? So this is not a set. So by default, if you are passing the duplicate data over the set, then by default it will consider the duplicate value as a unique value only. So suppose if I'm going to print, if I would like to print the s if I'm going to print as, okay, I am able to get only 10, 20, 30 only. Correct, right? I'm able to get the 10, 20, 30. Hope it making sense, right? What we did, right? Got it. Correct. Okay. No worries. Next set is done. So how to create the set? And one more thing. If you want to check, so which is common for all, type of set. And yeah, it should return set. Okay. Okay, no worries. Similarly, suppose you want to create your own set, so that is also possible. You can create your own set like this. Means suppose s is equal to, what the range function is returning. Can anyone help me? What is the range function is doing? If I am typing here range 1 to 5, what it will do? It will create a number between 1 to 5. Okay, between 1 to 5, right? Is it like this? 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, right? It will create like this. Suppose I created a range. I means I differentiate to the s, right? I initialize the s with the range of 1 to 5. And what will happen? Suppose I am going to pass that range function elements over the set method, over the set. Basically, I am doing the typecasting here. Basically, I am doing the typecasting. And afterwards, if I am printing this as, what is going to be happen? Where we go? Okay, let's do this job parallelly. Can you see this? Means 1, 2, 3, 4. Initially, it was returning the elementary element. I converted in form of the set. Okay, and I can able to see 1, 2, 3, 4. Got it? Understood the concept, right? Yes. Okay. Let's do the important function inside of set. Okay. What are the important function we have in set? So you had seen how to define the set. That is also is covered. Important function in set. Got it? Let's discuss about the important, as this set is quite different with the list and tuple. So there, here also you will get some different method also. Okay, so let's do one by one. Suppose s is equal to 10 comma 20 comma 30. Okay, 10 comma 20 comma 30, and I want to add a 40 also with this. So how I can add? As dot add method, and here I am passing the 40, and afterwards if I am printing, print s, and let's suppose if you want to add the element, happily you can add the element. Can you see this? And I don't know where the element will get add, because here insertion order is not getting preserved in case of set, right? So in case of list, if you are adding the element, then automatically by default the element was getting add at the end position of the element. But in case of set, right now it is adding at the position of first, but in future it is not like that. It will always add the element at the end of the, right? It will take any location. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's do something to add the multiple items. Suppose you want to add the multiple item in this, so that is also possible. But in case of add method, if you are adding more than one element, so what is going to be happen? Try to understand. So with this, we cannot add the multiple element. Can you see this? Add take exactly one argument. Add take exactly one element. So what will happen if I want to add the multiple element? So how we can add the multiple element? Can anyone help me out? So first thing, in case of set, we cannot add the element first, right? Is anyone seeing? Add one by one. Yeah, that is also one way, Amit, I can say one by one. But suppose I want to take a data of college student, and means every year college student number is going to be increased exponentially, right? Means suppose this year we have 100 student, next year might be 200 is new student will come. So how many time you will call the add method? It's not a good practice at all, right? Okay, but one thing I must say, in case of set, you cannot add, means, yeah, we can add the element, sorry, we can add the element, but suppose if you want to add the element, means in bulk, that is possible, you can add, no worries. Let's suppose I want to add the 5 members inside of S. So let's create one variable L is equal to, and this L is a list basically. So here I am passing 40 comma 30 comma again 10, that's all. This 3 element I am going to add. Can you please? Okay, wait a minute guys, I guess someone is in very urgent. So let's do this. So s dot update, after this class I can pick the call. L comma range range 5, okay, comma 5, and print s. Okay, sorry, this is the error, still this is the error. Okay, can you see this? Initially I having this 40 30 and 10, 40 30 and 10, and what is basically I did, can anyone help me out here? Initially I was 20 20 20 10 20 30 10 20 30, this is the s object. Now what we did, as set is not going to consider the duplicate data, so in case of list we having 30 and 10 which is common in s. So I added the element of 40 here also, and comma range also, range 0 से लेके 5 तक, means from 0 to 5, 0 to 4 also we added here. Means we can add multiple element also. Means let's suppose if you are not able to understand this range function, let's remove this range function for a while. Okay, can you see this? Initially we having 10 20 30, now I updated list 40 also, because 10 and 30 is common in the s also, so I'm not going to add that. Okay, so you can add the multiple element also. Means let's suppose 60 I'm going to add, comma 70 also I would like to add over here. So that is also possible, no worries. Can you see this? 60 and 70 got added, but only thing, insertion order will not preserve, right? Okay, so let's ask the Q&A session, which is very important here at this point, because this is the way only I am teaching here. So what is the Q&A is saying? What is the difference? First question, what is the difference between add method and update method? Who can answer me? What is the difference between add method and update method? Update method, add method and update method. Can anyone help me out? Just now we had seen, right? Just now. I'm not asking any irrelevant question over here. So whatever I am going to teach you is the same question I supposed to ask, right? Yeah. Anyone? Means in case of add, we can add the element one by one, but in case of update, we can add the element in a bulk, right? So this is the one thing I must say. Okay. Now let's do the something like a copy function we had seen. Pop function, yes, very important function. What is doing the pop function here? Pop function basically it is removing the element from the last. Okay, so 1 minute, wait a minute. Okay, no worries. So let's suppose if I'm going to do s.pop, s.pop if I'm calling here, so what it should return? Print, okay, print s.pop. If I'm calling this, can you see this? It is going to revert me the last element. And I don't know which is the last element it considered at this point. Okay. So basically in case of set, whatever last element will be there, it will return that. Okay. At that point. Yes. Okay. Let's discuss about the remove method. What is the remove method? Okay guys, I guess today I have some work due to some urgency. I am leaving here. So please complete your assignment meanwhile, and if you face any problem, just do let me know. Okay, I'm passing this document to you guys. Okay, I'm passing this document. Okay, no worries. Okay, fine. Fine guys, thank you.